Hello guys, I know, worst YouTuber ever. It's like my third time starting to try to film this, technical difficulties and such, but I wanted to make a video of kind of like, my first couple weeks into massage therapy school. I'm hoping to get back to regular uploads, now that I kind of have a massage therapy school routine down, but, I want to kind of talk about what it was like getting in, how I felt about starting massage therapy school, how I feel about being in massage therapy school now, how I feel about the module I'm in, and how I feel just in general about massage therapy school being about 3 weeks in. So yeah, so that's where I've been. I'm hoping to get back to, like I said, regular uploads. And just for y'all new people, my name is Emily and I am completely blind, and so yeah, I started massage therapy school at the very end of March, very beginning of April, and I started, and at least the way my school does it is we do different modules, and we have you are completely just focused in on that one module, and you just kind of jump in wherever the kind of class is at the time. Different schools do it different ways. I am in Louisiana. I am at Unitech Training Academy. You can look them up if you want more information. They have tons of different campuses across the state of Louisiana. So yeah, and I am currently in the anatomy and physiology module, so I kind of jumped in at the beginning of that. At least at Unitech, they usually don't enroll once they're like in the middle of anatomy, but because I kind of was I was able to get enrolled at the very beginning. They kind of let me jump in, so that worked out. But yeah, so with my experience with enrolling with Unitech Training Academy, what I had to do, I don't know how they would normally do it when it's not COVID times, but once I signed the enrollment agreement documents and did all of the financial aid stuff, which looked a little different for me because I use Louisiana Rehabilitation Services, which helps people with disabilities go to school and things like that. So they were able to pay for most of my school, what Pell Grant didn't cover. So that took a little bit of time to get my plan for that taken care of. There were some additional steps, and if y'all want me to do a video talking about that, let me know. So once I got that step taken care of and actually got into the school, getting into the school was fairly easy once we knew I could go, and you basically have to sign documents stating that you understand that at least here in the state of Louisiana, that you have to have a 90% attendance to even qualify for a state license, that there are certain rules that you have to follow, that you have to, of course, be like professional at all times, and that there's certain like financial aid rules that you have to follow. You can't be put on probation more than a certain amount of times, all that kind of stuff. So once you get to all the enrollment, blah 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 blah, then they will start you on your start date. Your first, at least for me, because they were trying to get me in pretty quickly, so I wouldn't be behind in anatomy. For your first couple of days is online orientation, where you have a couple of YouTube videos that you have to watch, and it's on an app called Edmodo, which I find really, really accessible. I love it. We use it for all of our class assignments. I used another learning platform at another college, and it was not my friend. But I'm not gonna call out that learning platform right now. This is not that time. But we use Edmodo, and I love it. It's fully accessible. I use it. I need to actually play with it on my Braille note here, but I have my iPad here, and I can use it on my iPad. I can use it on my phone right there on which I'm filming with, to look at assignments, to post assignments. There's an app, there's a website, and it's fully accessible, which is the other learning platform we used was technically accessible, but not my friend. It was accessible but not usable. It was a pain. I hated it. It was not my friend. But that's not what this video is about. So the first day was watching a few YouTube videos, and then you have to take a quiz based on the YouTube videos, and they also have in the orientation class like your student handbook, and I read through that. And then your second day of orientation, they kind of have like a couple more videos you watch, and just some like activities that you can do to help you get more familiar with like medical terminology and things like that. And by the way, just saying, when the world goes back to normal, we need to keep online orientation a thing, because I'm a fan. Just saying, I had to do in-person orientation when I was at a different school, and it worked, but I was not a fan. But just saying, I liked online orientation because it took out a lot of the extra fluff. I was just able to do what I needed to do. I was able to go back and watch videos as I needed to. I was able to take notes as I needed to. And because the student handbook was posted online, it was posted in an accessible format, which was nice. So yeah, loved that for me. And then like I said, depending on when you start, at least with Unitech, will depend on what module you start in. And so with me, I started in anatomy. They helped me, were able to start because they weren't sure if I was going to be able to start in anatomy, do some things, but we were able to get me in. And anatomy has been interesting. It's a lot, because a lot of it is visual, but you just have to learn your learning style. Like, I know I have to hear something and immediately feel it, like apply it to what's going on. So luckily, like our instructor that we have so far has been really awesome about, we have like a pretty much like full size, like tactile, like a full size, like it's like 3D like skeleton thing that we call Mr. Bones. Excuse me, you guys, I have a little bit of a cold. And they will show me that, and we have another blind student in my class, so we'll work together sometimes, and we will and she will show us like what they're talking about on Mr. Bones. And then for at least for me with anatomy, my Braille note right here is a lifesaver, because hearing things just with voiceover or any screen reader, hearing those anatomy words, so many of them sound alike, especially if you're not familiar with the terminology. So definitely I'd recommend, if you're taking an anatomy course, you're gonna need a Braille display of some kind, and you need an instructor who is going to be willing to be hands-on with you and things like that. And I also, my friend who's also blind, who's in the class with me, showed me a tactile atlas from the American Printing House that has all these like really cool graphics and things like that. It's really expensive. It's like $300 and something. It's like the basic tactile anatomy atlas. Luckily I had some stimulus money left over, so that's what I used a good chunk of my stimulus money for. But I'm sure LRS or whatever your vocational rehabilitation agency is, if you have a disability, would step in and help. But and then just some general advice for beginning massage therapy students. Hold on, you guys, I need to get some water. I'll be right back. Alright, hey you guys, sorry about that. I had to go grab my water bottle off my dresser. But back to what I was saying. Just some general tips for disabled and non-disabled massage therapists. If you are doing any of your massage therapy program online, just don't be afraid, or just make sure you are checking that app or website every day, posting your assignments. If y'all do questions of the day, answering those questions of the day, posting your matching. If y'all use the I think it's Principles of Massage, I forget who the book is by, but that's what we use. Don't be afraid to use that. Don't be afraid to study from that, because that's an awesome textbook. The matching helps me. The information in there helps me. There is a crash course anatomy playlist that's amazing. That it's like the anatomy and physiology playlist by Crash Course. And some of my sighted friends have told me that they have really good graphics in them, And then for my blind and visually impaired friends, they are really extremely auditorily easy to follow. And like I said, I ordered my atlas, my tactile atlas, so that'll be a lifesaver when I get it. And just don't be afraid to ask your instructor for help. Quizlet is a big help. And you just need to learn your learning style really early. Because I've been told at least 5 times since I've started my program from various different people, anatomy and physiology is the meat and potatoes of your exam. And if you don't, of your licensing exam, so if you don't get that, you are pretty much done. So yeah, so this is just kind of where I'm at. I'm about 2 or 3 weeks into anatomy, and your first few weeks, or at least for me, was really overwhelming. It's going to be overwhelming. I'm just now getting to the point to where I'm somewhat comfortable with the material, where I'm not like, I'm drowning. So yeah, just give yourself some grace, and the quicker you learn how you learn, the better. And I will link the playlist of the crash course videos down below, and y'all just can look up American Printing House for the Blind if y'all need that atlas, if you are visually impaired or blind. And y'all can stay tuned for more massage therapy videos, because once I get more into my program, I want to do like an intensive video, like how I study and things like that, like once I get my atlas, and once I'm a little more comfortable, I want to do a video of like how I study and things like that. And if y'all have any questions that I did not answer, please leave them down below. And y'all please stay tuned, because I promise this is the end of my random YouTube hiatus. Anatomy is hard, so it kind of sent me to put YouTube on the back burner for a minute. So I will hopefully see y'all tomorrow. I'm wanting to film tomorrow if y'all like Demi Lovato. I want to talk a little bit about her new documentary, in my opinions on her documentary and her music. So yeah, see y'all tomorrow, hopefully.